Tonight, when I was driving with my little son in the car, I got an opportunity to teach him in real time about how to shift timelines and how to get more of what you want out of this reality. And I just thought that since it was so easy for him to comprehend, and he's 6 years old, that I needed to share this with you because it is a real life example that happened to a 6-year-old boy today, and he was able to understand, and I could see the wheels in his little brain working as he figured out how he was going to use what he had just figured out tomorrow at school. So this is what was happening. Settle in for a second. If you want, go ahead and scroll, but this is kind of cute. So we were getting ready to go. I had been exhausted all day. My daughter had been up all night long. I got a couple hours of sleep. I'm just exhausted. But every day we're following this schedule, and I take them to the dollar store once a day, if they follow the schedule. Well, my daughter was too tired to go, but she had a request, something that she wanted. So I was getting in the truck, put my son in the truck, and I was writing out a message on my phone. He wanted my phone. He asked for it rudely. I was like, give me a minute, because I'm already frustrated and tired. And he almost threw a fit. Now, I don't know if it's just my kid, but these kids can throw some fits, okay? So I can tell that it's brewing in the back seat. It's just bubbling out of this kid where he wants to kick the back of my seats and throw a meltdown. But he knows that I'm going to freak out. So he chooses in that moment to try and breathe through it and get himself back together so that we can go. So in that moment, timeline A, the lowest vibrational timeline, the easiest one to get to would have been anger. He wanted the phone. I asked me rudely. I snapped at him, give me a minute. He could have easily grabbed that timeline, that vibration, and ran with it. And then I would have said, no, now you're not getting it. Get in the house. We would have had a terrible evening. It would have been very easy for him to choose that. But he breathed through it. I said, thank you for waiting, handed him the phone. Now, that's timeline B. That's the next better timeline where he had to put in a little bit of work and just not freak out. So he didn't have to actively do anything. He just had to not choose the easiest timeline, the crappiest, lowest one that would have been the fastest to grab. So now he's like, okay, so he's seeing that. We're going down the road. I kid you not. Before we even make it off of our drive, he says, here, Mama, I'm done with your phone. I said, what? We still got to drive. Like, what are you going to do? And he says, I'm just going to look out the window, look at trees, maybe some deer, and I'll just talk with you. My heart, let me just tell you, I lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, oh my God, son, yes, you are so precious. Like, and so I had quarters, a pile of quarters sitting next to me because I let them get a tattoo, obviously, out of the gumball machine at the dollar store once a day because it's a reward. So I had these quarters piled up next to me. And I gave him 2 quarters and told him how happy he made me. And then I explained the different timelines. That was timeline C. That was the best one. The one that took some work to get to, where he had to send out some good energy. But then, boom, as soon as he sent out the positive energy, he got it returned right back to him. And you can do that too. And he's going to keep doing that. If I would have been given that information when I was his age, oh my God, I can't even think about where I would be right now. But I seen him get it. I seen it click in his mind, and I hope that it clicks in yours too, because it really is that easy. The lowest vibrational frequency is usually the easiest one that you're going to get to on impulse. You're not going to wait the 90 seconds, and you're just going to let the impulse fly, and you're just going to, don't do that anymore. At least try for B, where you just don't react. You let the emotion pass, and you have that timeline. But if you can, see what's going on. See every single thing that comes up as an opportunity to shift your timeline right in that moment. You can. It's just that easy. We could have had a terrible night. We could have had a good night, but we had an amazing night. Everybody was thrilled with him. Everybody made such a big deal out of it that he learned about timelines. It was amazing. So, I mean, just the world's kind of crazy. Like, what could it hurt to just figure it out, that everything is on a frequency. Your emotions are your frequency. And if you let a temporary obstacle, annoyance, betrayal, whatever it is, if you let that take over your vibration, now you can only attract things, experiences, people, money that's on that same vibration. And it's low. But if you just don't react, understand what's happening, and protect your vibration, your emotions, and become non-reactive, then you're at least getting an upgrade on the timeline, better than bad. And the things that you can attract here are way better than the lower one down. You're going to at least get what you want. But if you choose timeline C, if you choose to see, okay, I'm just going to listen to this woo-woo stuff because the world's crazy and aliens are real and all these other crazy things are real and people eat and, whatever. Believe the opposite is true too. I am living proof of this. And you can do it too. You don't have to be special to realize that timelines shift hundreds of times a day. And each reality is just as valid and as on the way as the other. I hope that this finds you and that you can figure it out too, because you can shift your timelines every day, multiple times a day. Just watch your vibration, your emotions. If you're enraged, it's only going to take 90 seconds to pass, and trust me, I know it to be true. I'm excited to see and hear from you what you've changed and what you've done, and just try it.